For what is essentially a group of fans, I feel that's a very highly produced logo. King's Quest 1, Quest for the Crown. That is ripped straight out of King's Quest 5, I think. Alright, we're here. This is the VGA remake of King's Quest Quest for the Crown by AGD Interactive. Basically, it is a fan game. It is not official. It is not made by Sierra. They did get the blessing of the publisher back in the day to distribute this though, so it's as official as it can get without actually being a proper Sierra game. It's quite interesting in my opinion that they actually got permission to do that. I believe this is a one-to-one remake of the original. We'll find out very shortly when I look at the map. But yeah, Sierra did produce an upgraded EGA version of this game in the SCI engine. As far as I can tell, I have no legal way of playing that. I would like to check that out, but I cannot. It's not on Steam and it's not on GOG. So unless I can track down a disc copy, I'm not playing it in a hurry. So yeah, we'll take a look at the VGA remake instead, and I intend to do the same thing for King's Quest 2 and King's Quest 3. We'll play the EGA version, the original from Sierra, and then we'll take a look at these remakes. Alright, so let's click the introduction button and see what we got.
You are Sir Graham, the bravest and most honorable knight in the troubled realm of Daventry. King Edward the Benevolent, aged ruler of Daventry, has summoned you to the castle for reasons unknown.
Something to do about missing treasures.
Greetings, Sir Graham. The King is expecting you. Allow me to escort you to His Majesty's throne room.
Thank you, Sir Knight.
That face. I can't agree with that face.
Raise the portcullis.
Is that actually lip-synced? Or as close as it can be with VGA graphics? Because if so, that is super impressive.
I am at your service, my king.
I am an old man, Sir Graham. Perhaps too old to carry the weight of this crown. My bones ache, my hands tremble. I am afraid my time on earth grows short. But enough about me. Great misfortunes have befallen Daventry since the loss years ago of 3 magical treasures. I have chosen you, the finest knight in all of Daventry, to search for these lost treasures. Only then can this kingdom be restored to its former glory. And only then may I rest with the knowledge that my people are safe. The first treasure is a magic mirror that foretells the future. The second is a magical shield that protects the bearer from all mortal harm. The third and last is an enchanted chest that is forever filled with gold.
Can I pay for some cosmetic surgery, please?
I know that what I ask is difficult, nay, perhaps impossible. The dangers are many. But you are brave and pure of heart. That is why I chose you to volunteer. If you succeed, you will inherit my crown and rule the realm of Daventry as her rightful king. Go, Sir Graham, and know that the fate of Daventry lies in your hands.
Take heart, my king. I shall not fail you.
He said volunteer, but I really don't think we have a choice. We are his vassal, we have to do it. That's it, very abrupt. But it's better than what we got in the first game. Alright, so I'm going to click begin game and see what awaits us. Would you like to play the game without the possibility of encountering dead ends or getting stuck? No thank you, I enjoy pain.
You have selected to play with dead ends enabled. The game will play exactly the same way as the EGA version of King's Quest 1, Quest for the Crown.
I'm okay with that. We even get the old interface here. Wow. No scum VM today. Okay, so I've got a bunch of icons here. Walk, look, handle, fondle, talk. That is our inventory item that we have selected. We are
You
currently
are carrying nothing.
Game designed by Roberta Williams. That's important. The AGI and SCI versions of King's Quest 1 were made in 1984 and 1990 respectively. Yeah, the 1990 version, I've only seen about 2 minutes of that on YouTube. I wish I could play that. Ah! Please. This remake was created in 2001 by AGD and enhanced in 2008. Wow. That must be the voice acting and maybe some other stuff, because I do not recall voice acting when I last played this. It's used with permission. If you have any queries about this, please make your comments over on the forums. That is a game engine. And yeah, if you enjoy this, please download it and check it out yourself. You can do so using the description below. Or check out the originals. You can get them on GOG. I had a look on Steam before starting this playthrough, and I did not see them on Steam. They are definitely available on GOG though, because I just bought King's Quest 7 and 8. Right, what do we have around here?
It's you, Sir Graham, the finest knight in all of Daventry.
I'm so glad there's voice acting.
These guards protect the king's castle.
So, Graham's character model is straight out of King's Quest V. There is no change there. I do recall seeing that guard's face when he was facing sideways in the throne room in one of the previous games, possibly 5, possibly 6. That face structure looked very familiar.
The portcullis is the only entrance to the king's castle. You are standing outside King Edward's castle, which is surrounded by a serpent-filled moat. The castle walls are carpeted with a thick tangle of vines. You reconsider the wisdom of returning to King Edward without having recovered Daventry's 3 lost treasures.
I tried that in the last game once I recovered the shield, and it did not let me go inside.
Don't disturb the guards. Best to get on with your mission.
Let me touch the guards, please.
There's not much to do there. The guards do not appreciate people climbing the castle.
Okay, they do acknowledge that. Good.
This deep swampy moat is patrolled by vicious serpents.
Can I pat the serpents?
You wouldn't want to dive into the serpent-filled moat.
Can I look at the serpents?
These scaly, slimy serpents cruise the moat searching for unwary trespassers. What? Are you crazy?
Yes.
What?
Wearing the hat, very cute game.
The moat monsters appreciate your good taste.
Why, thank you. In the original, those were alligators, so that is definitely a change. Right, how accurate is my map? I assume the map on the right is a new map because we've got Castle West and Castle East on my map, and in the original, Castle West had the main door.
Massive turrets from which the guards can defend the castle stretch to the sky above. You are standing out. You never know what sort of fierce creatures lie just beneath the surface of the moat. You never know.
I should also say that on the icons here, you can see a little red dot. Like pointing at Sir Graham's foot right there, with that finger, you can see a little red dot. There is a little red dot at the start of the speech bubble there. There is a little red dot on his foot. That is basically the exact pixel that is being pointed to, which, honestly, I think that's a really cool feature.
The trees around the castle are tall and old. They were just as tall back when King Edward was only a young prince. A sturdy stone bridge has been built here to span the moat.
Right, I don't think we're getting much else. So on my map, I've got birch trees, rock, and dagger written here.
There is a dense grove of trees here. You're in a shady forest clearing. A large rock rests in the middle of the clearing.
Look at that. It tells me about the rock. A generic look tells me about the rock.
There is a you're in a you're in a there you're in a you're you're in a you're there is there there's not much there
We're going to be saying that a lot. I can see that already.
This rock is less distinctive than the one next to it. You see a large gray rock.
Can we get squashed by the rock immediately? I'll take that as a yes.
The moving rock rolls downhill and right into you. A crushing defeat.
Indeed. Can I turn the music down just a fraction? Yeah, we'll go with that. Also, I should crank the game speed a little bit. So if I walk here and then push it.
With a small shove, you manage to push the rock a few feet, revealing a shallow hole underneath.
We should be fine.
It is a large rock. There's a shallow hole in the ground where the rock used to sit. There is an intricately carved dagger in the hole.
We have points.
You reach into the hole and grasp the dagger, being careful not to cut yourself. This is a fine silver dagger with a very sharp edge. You can't read the runes on the blade, but it appears to be an elfish dagger of great antiquity.
Nice. Okay, edge of a lake.
This is a serene mountain lake with a small beach of pebbles on its edge.
Oh, that's new. I have the pebbles as being 2 screens down and 1 over.
On the beach are some smooth, round pebbles.
And we didn't use the pebbles in the EGA version, and I've not looked it up, but I assume what we can do with those is put those pebbles into the sling and use it on the giants.
That's strange. You don't get an answer.
I did not mean to double click there.
You grab some pebbles.
So dramatic. Let me just update my map. I'll probably end up making an entirely new map for this, but I'll just update this old one for now.
You have 5 smooth, rounded pebbles.
Any emphasis on Y5?
Your pockets cannot hold any more pebbles.
And yet we're going to be able to hold the magic mirror and a chest full of gold coins and whatever else. Video games.
The birds of Daventry are beautiful, are they not?
They are.
There are many lush trees surrounding the lake. The only rocks of interest are some small pebbles on the beach.
Alright, fine. Oh, that is really slowing things down. Wow. It's like it's running at about 10 frames per second now. That's not how game speed works.
That's one giant leap for the fish.
Okay, you know what? That was worth it. Let's go left. We should have the other side of the lake. And I can already see the well to the north.
This is a serene mountain lake. In the woods to the north, you can just see what looks like an old stone well. The roots of the trees are entwined around this craggy cluster of rocks. An old gnarled tree rests near the shore of the lake. There is nothing up there you'll need. The big rock will not move. The water is not deep enough here for you to dive.
I suspect I can only dive in the well, but let me check.
The water is not deep enough here for you to dive.
So I believe at this point I can go north and already get the mirror, but I'm not going to. Let me keep looking around. If I go left, this should take me to the room with the log and the stump. And there's something very valuable in there.
A distinctively common tree sits near the shore of the lake.
Distinctively common? That's good.
A totally typical example of the trees in this forest. It's a large rock. You found a bush, but there isn't a quail in the game. There's a single large rock sitting off to the side. You can just see the northern edge of a nearby lake.
The writers clearly had some fun here.
The water is not deep. There is nothing up. Even if you got every guard in the castle and King Edward to help push this rock, it still wouldn't move an inch. Interfering with this bush will not further your quest. There is no reason to take this old log with you. Next to you is an old fallen tree trunk. It's crumbling and rotted and holds no interest for you, unless you have a fascination with termites.
Once again, no kink shaming.
There's a hole in the side of the log. You're in a quiet part of the forest. There's an old rotted stump here. You peer into the darkness inside the log, but there's nothing at all inside. You check to make sure that the feather is still securely stuck in your cap.
I tried every variant that I could think of in the EGA version and I could not look inside the log. The stump, however...
From here you can see that the stump is very old and rotting away. A dark hole at the top catches your attention. Inside the rotting stump you notice a small leather pouch.
We get a point for that.
As you lift the pouch from the stump, you feel its contents shifting inside. Inside the decaying tree stump, you see nothing interesting. There's nothing else inside the stump. Leave it be. When you peek inside the leather pouch, you discover it's filled with diamonds. Cautiously, you open the pouch and see many sparkling and flashing diamonds. Quickly, you close it again so as not to lose any.
And yet they serve no purpose other than to maybe pay the troll's toll. Right, next up we have a waterfall.
That's strange. You don't remember this rock being here in the EGA version.
Okay, I was enjoying it until that. That's being a little too self-referential, I think.
A majestic old tree stands nearby. There is nothing up. The rock is far too heavy to move. These rocks must lead to some sort of underground spring. You remind yourself to explore their nooks and crannies sometime when you don't have so much work to do.
I think it's too late for that. If we succeed in our quest, we are going to become the King of Daventry. We're not going to have time to do that.
This is a beautiful little lake. A small spring bubbles up from the rocks here and splashes into the lake. This is just one of the many small trees adorning Daventry's countryside. The rocks will not move. The tree is too large to take and too small to climb. What exactly were you expecting to do?
Rustle its leaves. Right, can I go in here? If I walk towards here, is that going to kill me?
You would need to have much bigger hands to stop this spring from flowing.
In the EGA version, approaching this will get me killed. Alright, over to the left, I have nothing except water edge.
This is a beautiful little lake.
Is that like a whirlpool or something?
There are strong currents under the calm surface of this lake. Diving here would be too dangerous.
What about over this side?
The water is not deep.
Yeah, the game really does not want me to go underwater except for the well.
This is a peaceful little lake, fed by a nearby waterfall. These rocks must lead to some... This is a small mound of rocks sits by the lake. Small bushes thrive by the clear little lake. The underbrush around the trees is home to many small furry creatures, none of which concern you at the moment.
Can I pat the small creatures?
You have more important things to do right now than explore the forest. Maybe some other time when you're not so busy. You can't move these heavy rocks, and even if you could, what purpose would it fulfill? There's nothing special about this bush. Just leave it alone. There's nothing... You can't move these... You can't...
They do not look heavy at all. Okay, so if I go left here, that should take me back to Castle East. So far, that is 1-to-1, except we've got an additional area in the middle here. And we've also got some pebbles on the left-hand side. So it is 9 screens wide. I'm curious to know if the others are 9 screens wide or if they go back to 8. We'll find out very shortly, I guess. If I go up, we should find ourselves... how far up can I move this? Oh god, that's so awkward. All I've got written down is grass and fairy godmother. I think I'll just make a save before she rocks up.
You are standing in a clearing. The view of the forest is most pleasant here. Many beautiful trees adorn the green countryside. Small rocks lay scattered across the landscape.
Nothing.
You see lush plants and bushes throughout the kingdom of Daventry. This tree does not particularly interest you. Climbing this tree will not help to further your quest. Don't bother moving the rocks. There's not...
If I hang around here, is she going to turn up? Okay, I did not mean to go that way.
Gentle Sir Graham, I am your fairy godmother.
You look evil.
Your quest is indeed noble. What little aid I can offer you is this protective magic spell, effective for but a short while. I shall be watching over you, Sir Graham.
Okay, so that's the same dialogue as the original, I think. I remember her saying your quest is indeed noble, but I really do have to question how she got that reverb effect on her voice. Regardless of the fact that she just cast a magic spell on us, which looks very rainbowy, look at that. The pixels at the top of Graham are red and they are violets down the bottom. That's kind of cool. Alright, hopefully we can get that again. I did make a save. Garden?
This is a well-tended carrot patch. The carrots look tempting to a hungry traveler.
And it goes.
A copse of low bushes grows beneath the shade trees. Lovely trees grow near the carrot patch. You see a brick border surrounding a well-kept garden. From here, you can see the battlements of King Edward's castle overlooking the garden.
Trying to look at the border. Okay, let's take in carrots.
You pluck a plump orange carrot from the ground. Nothing happens. You already have a carrot. Poking around in this bush will not help you solve your quest, Sir Graham. These trees hold no secrets for you, Sir Graham. This looks like an ordinary carrot.
And yet I can only carry one. That's depressing. Okay, so it looks like this might be 8 wide.
Some low, lush green bushes are growing at the base of the trees. Lovely trees grow near the carrot patch. A copse of lovely trees. A patch of pretty flowers has been planted near the garden just for decoration.
Can I pick the flowers?
If you pick the flowers, you would ruin the nice garden. If you pick the flowers, you would ruin the nice garden.
It's okay. You know what? This voice acting is high quality enough and good enough that I'm not going to whinge about that.
This bush, like any bush, will be of no help in your quest. These trees, there's not much to.
I can't touch the bird. Damn it. Speaking of birds, there should be a large tree here.
A small thicket of unimpressive white birch trees grows here. A small thicket of
Okay, so before this spell wears off, I would like to test this out. According to my map, there is a wolf here.
This is one of the countless rocks and boulders that dot the countryside. You see lush, all sorts of gorgeous trees dot the Daventry countryside. You are in a clearing in the forest. You have the uneasy feeling that someone or something is watching you.
Under normal circumstances, that would be a fourth wall break, but no.
This is one of the all sorts. There is nothing up there you'll need. The rock will not budge. The bush has done a fine job of surviving by itself so far. Far be it from you to intervene.
Let me slow the game down a bit because firstly, I'd like to try talking to the wolf. Secondly, I'd like to try passing it. And then thirdly, I'd like to try killing it. That is, if it turns up. Are you here? Ignore the magic spell. Also ignore the dagger that I've got in my pocket. I don't know if this is going to turn up.
You are in a clearing in the forest.
It's definitely here because it mentions an uneasy feeling. Maybe because I've got the spell up, it's not going to attack. Alright, let's take a look at this tree.
This is the biggest oak tree you've ever seen. Its trunk seems to be about 10 feet around, and the thick, sturdy branches look like they could hold many times your weight. There are plenty of rocks around the base of the enormous tree. The tiny bushes and shrubs pale in comparison to the giant oak standing nearby. There's nothing to be gained by touching these plants. This tree is too smooth and does not have enough branches to climb. The rocks are firmly stuck in place.
Alright, let's climb the tree. There is a gold egg up here.
Finding plenty of footholds in the coarse bark of the tree, you easily clamber up the trunk to the branches above. Far out on a huge branch, there is a nest. Far up here in the tree, the main trunk is bent enough to allow you to walk carefully along its length. The leaves and branches hide the ground from view. You're too far away from the nest to see it clearly.
Did the spell protect me there? I'm inclined to think no, because we could definitely fall in the original game and we were safe. That's a bit of a troll. I thought I was safe. okay. There's some pixel hunting involved here, very clearly. I don't appear to be able to skip that animation.
You can tell by the coarse feel of the wood that this tree must be ancient.
Please just get down on all fours and crawl. That will be safer than what I'm trying to do here.
You're too far.
Really?
There is a perfect, shimmering golden egg lying in the nest. You carefully lift the golden egg out of the nest. You are holding a lovely golden egg.
That won't break at all if I fall off. Crazy.
You are This is one egg that definitely won't be so easy to crack. Be careful, Graham. That blade is very sharp. They feel rock solid.
Yes.
Cautiously, you open the pouch. The carrot feels hard. It would be very crisp to eat.
Right, we owe it to ourselves to climb down here properly. Well done. Okay, can we get the wolf to spawn?
Ye best be careful, young Graham. The mystic protective spell of mine has weakened and departed.
Don't scare me like that. Okay, maybe that's why. Maybe the wolf turns up when the spell departs.
Ye best be careful, young Graham. The mystic protective spell.
Okay, I can escape out of that. Speed down. Is the wolf going to turn up now? Oh my god. This is all RNG, isn't it? The well.
Without warning, a wolf darts out of the bushes and runs straight for you. Look out! Don't let him catch you! It looks like the wolf has his stomach set on you. Spend less time looking and more time escaping. The wolf's muscles are coiled steel springs. His massive jaws, razor-sharp teeth, and long wicked claws are a deadly blur. And you want to get him? Better think again.
I want to pat him.
There's not the wolf's...
He looks like a good boy and or good girl. Can I stab him?
The wolf's muscle. Your aim could use some improvement. The dagger flies through the air, and where it lands, you know not.
Oh shit, okay.
Keep it to... How many times have you been told not to wolf down your food? Complete your quest.
Oh. Damn it. That couldn't have ended any worse if I tried. I can throw the dagger at the wolf. That's interesting.
Ye best be careful.
You see the bush.
I suspect it's popping out of that little hole there. And now it's not turning up. Yeah, this lines up with my map. We'll play with the well in just a moment.
Without warning, a wolf darts out of the bushes and runs straight.
Can't spell. Okay, never mind, it doesn't come from there. If I throw it from here.
The wolf's muscles. The wolf's.
I see. If I just click in the random area,
Your aim could use some improvement.
it tosses it away, we lose the points, we lose the dagger.
How many times have you been told not to wolf down your food?
Cute. Alright, hopefully I can escape. And then we'll just go around. There is danger along the way though. In the form of a witch. I'll check that area out later. That looks ominous. Okay, we are at the well. Which means I think we can actually get the mirror. I don't think there's anything stopping us.
Beautiful shade trees abound in this part of Daventry. You have encountered an old stone well in the middle of these woods. You have encountered beautiful. This is typical of the large leafy vegetation found all through Daventry. You have several unremarkable plants have rooted themselves at the base of the old stone well. You peer into the darkness. After seeing how far it is to the bottom, you think twice before jumping in.
They removed that death. Never mind.
You've sunk your chances for saving Daventry.
I'm glad they left that in. Alright, so let's go investigate that well.
A healthy tangle of vines is coiled around the well. The vines aren't strong enough to be of any use to you. You can't climb.
Can I cut the vines?
Nothing happens. This weathered old bucket has served the kingdom for years and years. It still holds water as well as it did on the day it was made.
Okay, let's vandalize it.
The rope is wound around the crank, hanging above the well. This crank is used to lower and raise the bucket into the well.
Yeah, I found the word handle, but I did not find the word crank. I also did not find the word lower. Right, so if I use this...
After you are in the old bucket, your weight causes it to slowly descend.
We get points.
You're sitting in a bucket, suspended inside a dark, damp well. The rope is thick and sturdy. It can easily support many times your weight. The well water is cold and clear. This weathered old bucket has withstood many years of use. You're already climbing the rope.
That looks so dinky. Okay, so if I go here and then do this, does that raise the bucket? It does. So I guess we're not in any kind of fail state here with respect to grabbing the buckets. I assume that raise rope or raise buckets in the original works as well, but that is not something that I did. So if I cut the rope now, I'm screwed, I think.
The rope and bucket are now lost in the bottom of the well. Now that you've cut the rope, there's no way for you to retrieve the bucket from the bottom of the well. There's nothing left to climb down. There's no rope left to wind. You peer into the darkness.
That, I assume, is a dead end. Okay, let's cut the rope, which will give us the buckets.
You cut the rope using the dagger and take the old bucket.
Once again, we cannot hold more than 5 pebbles. So if I lower the rope now...
The rope disappears into the darkness.
Do I get 2 points for climbing the rope? I do. I assume that's all on board, like I don't need to... I have to check, don't I? I'm sorry, I have to check. Let's do this. We get 2 points, let's climb back up. Raise it, then cut it, then climb back down. I assume it's okay though, and that we're going to end with 29 points. But I have to know.
You cut the rope.
The issue I've got is we bowed to King Edward in a cutscene, so I'm missing 3 points. Let's dive into the well, shall we?
You leap out of the water and grab the rope.
Holy shit, that's a good leap. Wow. So if I wait long enough, I'm going to drown. Any day now?
Your strength ebbs and your arms and legs grow weary. As your life swims before your eyes, you decide to...
I'm not sure where that's going, if that's just supposed to be cute in that we didn't have time to finish that sentence or something else. That was weird. Okay, let's go down.
You can see the bottom of the well below you. You can see the You are too far away to see clearly. This looks like a typical weed.
Really?
This looks like a typical weed.
We can see the weeds, but we can't see the giant honking chest here.
It looks like this chest has been buried here for a very long time. This isn't the chest you're looking for.
But is there anything inside?
It looks like this chest... It's you, sir.
Tell me if there's anything inside the chest, please.
It looks like the...
No. Oh. Wow, that was quick. Jesus.
Well, well, well. What are you gonna do now?
Shut the hell up. Let's go down. Maybe I just need to hoof it.
This looks like typical well water.
I guess that's our cue to pick it up.
The cave is dark and very damp.
I have to use the hand to get out.
You are holding an empty wooden bucket. The old bucket has seen many years of use and is beginning to fall apart. You decide not to touch it and make its condition worse.
Pretty sure we're already touching it, game.
You kneel down and fill the bucket with the cool water.
Yeah, we're gonna need this in about 10 seconds time.
This old wooden bucket is now filled with clear water. The water in the bucket is a bit warm, but very wet.
That's what they all say. The dragon is asleep, and much, much larger. Alright, well, first of all, we need to do this. We have no choice.
By venturing too close to the dragon's flame, you made an ash out of yourself.
I actually think the original was gorier. As insane as that sounds. Not gonna lie, I'm a bit disappointed with that fire effect.
Green and scaly, the dragon is massive and muscular. Serrated armor stretches from its tail to its neck. His leathery wings are folded against his sides, and his webbed claws look sharp and deadly. The ferocious fire-breathing dragon is protecting the magic mirror. This boulder is a huge chunk of granite. The ferocious fire-breathing dragon is protecting the magic mirror. The mirror shimmers with its own magical light. Greed and
Right, we have two choices here.
With unerring aim, the dagger spins through the air and pierces the soft, unprotected skin under the dragon's throat. The beast convulses for a moment, then crashes, lifeless, to the hard cavern floor.
We just slew a dragon. Feels good, man.
The dragon lies motionless on the rocky floor of the cavern. There is a dead dragon, a large boulder, and a seemingly ordinary mirror in the cave.
Nothing ordinary about that mirror.
The dragon is dead. He has ceased to be. Bereft of life, he rests in peace. Best to get on with your adventure and forget this sad creature. The dragon is dead. He can no longer hear you. The dragon.
All right.
Think again. When this dragon talks, things have a tendency to catch fire.
Cues. I forgot to talk to the guards outside the castle.
Think again.
Okay, let's try that.
Good shot. The water hits the dragon square in the face, dousing his fire.
Oh, please don't make it disappear.
Unable to defend itself with anything more than harmless clouds of steam, the dragon rolls aside the granite boulder and slinks off in shame, leaving the mirror behind.
That's a better translation of that line, and I get why they did that, because I needed to change this scene. But honestly, that steam looked much more ferocious than the fireball that he tossed at us.
This boulder is a huge chunk of granite. There is a large granite boulder in the cave, as well as a mirror. A magic mirror.
Oh, so it's not an ordinary mirror in our game.
The mirror shimmers with its own magical light.
Alright, we can't fit more than 5 pebbles in. Can we fit the mirror in?
You take the magic mirror. Congratulations!
Of course we can.
This boulder...
Video game logic at its best. I'm just looking at my map. Where are we going to come out? We're going to come out one above the well and one to the left, so that actually works out pretty well. No pun intended.
This is the magic mirror, one of the 3 treasures of Daventry.
Do we see ourselves in the mirror?
The magic mirror's surface is smooth to the touch.
We do not. Can I fill the buckets again? And is there any point in doing so?
You kneel down and fill the bucket with the cool water.
There's nothing stopping me, but I don't think we have a use for it. Oh wow, this almost looks like it's out of Space Quest 1.
This is a large, apparently vacant cave. Damp and cool, the cave is lit only by the sunlight streaming in through the cave's entrance to the west. It took millenniums for these stalagmites and stalactites to form. The entrance leads back outside.
And if we're coming from the other side, the granite is in the way and we can't proceed. I'm going to go down. We should see the goat pen. Yep, we do. And if I go right, I should be back at the well. Excellent.